So, which physique is better, the guy on the left or the guy on the right? Now, 95% of people would choose the guy on the right, even though we could clearly see this guy has a lot more muscle, but people would still choose him. Now, why is that? Well, if we look at the shoulders, you could clearly see he has a wide frame, much wider than this guy, right? Which makes him stand out. And one of the key components why it makes him stand out because we psychologically see this as more attractive, more masculine. His test is probably a lot higher, but unfortunately, many people aren't blessed with wide clavicles. At least I wasn't. As you can see, that was me maybe around 5 years ago. I had quite narrow shoulders, clavicles, right? I was pretty tall, and my frame was pretty narrow. And to be honest, I hated that. I was really insecure about that until I started training, implementing different methods, and now I've pretty much, built this wide frame or a frame that looks wide. As you can see, bigger shoulders, smaller waist. That gives me that V shape body, which women find really attractive. And in today's video, I want to talk about 5 methods that help me pretty much widen my frame and make me look more masculine. So, the first one is posture. Now, many people don't really pay attention to that one, and I didn't for a very long time. Until one day, I asked this maybe 30-year-old man to spot me, and after spotting me, he was like, you've got a really good physique, but your posture is shit. And I was like, what do you mean? He put his hand behind my back, told me to pull my arms behind his arm, and all of a sudden, my whole body expands. My shoulders become wider. My chest spreads out more. And I was like, damn, all that time I was really walking around that. My shoulders were rotating inwards, making my frame look narrow. And, we spend a lot of time on our phones, on our computers, and it really affects the physique. That's why I got myself a posture corrector. And I've been wearing this maybe for around 5 months, under my hoodie, at home, during class. And what it basically does, it prevents you from slouching, pulls your back back, pulls your back. And whenever you do slouch, you will feel the bands pulling. It's kind of like a habit builder. You'll be like, oh, wait, I need to stretch out. I need to correct my posture. Now, the second method is sleeping position. Now, me, I don't know why. I just love sleeping on my right. Since I was a little kid, I've always slept on my right. And that, from what I think or know, actually, let me talk about the 3 points first. So, muscle tightness. Sleeping on one side too much can make your neck, shoulder, or upper back muscle tight. Uneven posture. One shoulder might start to look higher or lower because of that tightness. And the third one is shoulder pain. Too much pressure on one side, especially with bad pillow or mattress, can make your shoulder sore or irritated. Now, my issue was the second one. The shoulder looking either higher or lower. And that was on my right shoulder. For the longest time, I didn't understand why does my right shoulder look lower or is lower. I always used to ask my friends, is my shoulder straight? And they always used to tell me, no, your right shoulder is lower than your left. And for the longest time, that shit pissed me off so much. And I was wondering all that time, was I born like this? Did I get dropped down the stairs? Until I realized, wait, I love sleeping on my right side, and I've been sleeping like that for many, many years now. And I thought about it like, damn, I spend between 10 hours sleeping on that one side. Maybe not exactly, but most of the time I do spend, and all that pressure on that one side, of course it will affect it. Which physique do you prefer? Do you prefer Leon Edwards physique, or do you prefer Stephen Thompson physique? Now, even though Stephen Thompson has a wider frame, longer clavicles, his physique doesn't look as good as Leon Edwards. Even though Leon Edwards has narrow clavicles, right? The difference is that, as you can see, Stephen Thompson has love handles. And what these are is basically just fat above your hips. And even if you have a wide frame, if you have love handles that stick out, you'll never look as good as someone with narrow clavicles but a small waist. For men, above 18 to 20% body fat love handles are usually noticeable. Around 15 to 18% may still be there, but smaller or less defined, and below 12% and 13%, they're usually gone or barely visible since overall body fat is low. For women, it's slightly higher. Above 25 to 28% body fat, love handles are more common and noticeable. Around 22 to 25%, they may still be visible but softer. And below 20%, usually much less noticeable, even though a woman naturally carry fat in the hips and waist. To get rid of them, most effective is going on a calorie deficit. Next one is obviously training your shoulders. Humans have three different areas in the shoulders: the rear delts, side delts, and front delts. And if you train them consistently, you will look like this guy. I lied. Obviously, he's on something steroids. You can't really get that bit, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the three key, well, what I would preferably train, or the workouts that I would choose, is the first one, which is lateral raises, which is three. Well, I wrote it down. 3 sets, 12 reps, lateral raises. You can do them standing up. You can do them sitting down. I prefer sitting down since you use less of your body to throw them around. The second one is 3 sets, 12 reps of shoulder press. The third one is 3 sets, 12 reps of rear delts cable flies. And it trains that little muscle right there. Now you can do them once, twice per week. Sometimes I do a few lateral raises during my workouts when I'm doing biceps. Maybe I do a few curls. For maybe a few seconds, I just grab a few kg dumbbells, throw them around a little bit. Get the blood flowing. So the more you hit them, the more obviously they're gonna grow. And obviously another thing, many people say that there are small muscles, right? You don't have to really lift heavy weight. But just like any other muscle, if you lift the same weight over and over again, it doesn't make sense. If you lift the same weight over and over again, how are your muscles gonna grow? They're gonna get used to that weight. Of course, you need to increase the weight. So anyway, for me personally, when I do a certain workout, when I do 8 reps, I instantly if I do, let's say, 3 sets, and on my third set I do, let's say, 16 kg lateral raises. If I manage to do 8 clean reps, I might do a full set, right? And that full set would be 18 kg, or at least I'll know on my next time I'll do shoulders or lateral raises, I will have to do 18 kg because I've done 8 clean reps. So however you want to do it, but that's how I do it. And the last one is doing wider grip, pretty much. So when you do pull-ups, lat pull downs, if you do wider grip, when you do like close grip, you work more on the thickness. And when you do wider grip, you work more on the width. So your body spreads out more, right? And when you do your special lat pull downs, your lats have some more space, right? They spread out more. The next one is bench press. Obviously, wider grip, the wider the chest is going to grow, the more it's going to spread out. Arnold really loved doing wide grip because obviously his chest, as you know, pretty much his chest is really wide and it's like really round. So, pretty much he always used to say wide grip helped him out a lot. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some value out of it. Like, subscribe, comment what part you found the most valuable, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.